Good evening and welcome to Harmonics. Tonight I have a legendary guest, a national treasure, the great slide player, blues player, Ron Thompson. Ron, God, it's an honor to have you here.
I'm glad to be here, Greg. Okay? I think it's great.
You know, it's such a pleasure that you're here, and we're going to get right into it.
Okay.
It's raining outside. He looks absolutely spectacular in his purple suit. I mean, this personifies a blues musician. It's just great to see you here. Ron, let's just start right off. How did you actually get into playing music? When did you actually start playing music?
Well, I started out playing piano, and my grandmother played piano, and my brother and my sister played piano, and I started playing piano, but I switched to guitar, you know, when I was about 11.
Wow.
And I always liked blues. I mean rhythm and blues, and like Fats Domino. That was what I still like. I still listen to the Fat Man, Fats Domino. I listened to that song, The Fat Man. That's a bad tune. I dig it as much as I did when I was about 5. I'm serious about this, you know. And I started playing guitar, and it was easier to carry around. Because they really didn't have any keyboards that had a piano sound. So I switched to guitar, and here I am.
Man, you're such a great influence. Who were some of your influence? You got a guitar. You talked about Fast. Who were some of your influence on guitars that you were actually listening to back then?
So many. But I'd say, real quickly, Jimmy Reed, Elmo James, Lightning Hopkins. I can go on and on. But,
go ahead, tell us some more.
Like, matter of fact, when I learned from, I was lucky and honored to play with John Lee Hooker for about 7 or 8 years in the 70s.
Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down at all your feet. Take you home with me. Put you in my house.
And I met a lot of people that I didn't even thought I'd even meet, like Robert Jr. Lockwood.
You're the mean black spider, and your webs all over town.
Have you heard of him?
Yes.
And he's Robert Johnson's stepson.
Yes.
But he's on a lot of these little Walter records and stuff, and he's on a lot of stuff. But the reason why he liked me was I was doing some shows in the Santa Cruz Mountains with them. And it ended up that they had a flat. So I went and helped them with the flat, get the car fixed. And then Robert Jr., he started liking me. So he sat down and he goes, "Oh, now I know what you like." And he started showing me all this stuff. It's a beautiful experience. And I was so lucky to do that, you know. And playing with John Lee Hooker was like, woo. I mean, to get it sounding right, I mean, I had to learn how to, I used to listen to, well, I played with Jimmy Reed before, which is really a honor. I mean, that's where I started out. I started out when I was 10. My older sister, she used to go to some place called the Penthouse in San Jose a long, long time ago. And they'd play records and stuff, and she brought back this Jimmy Reed record called I Found Love.
I found true love, one was waiting for. I found true love, one was waiting for.
I got hypnotized by that record. And you know, it goes on and on like that.
So when you were meeting these blues legends, and they kind of cultivated you, right? They kind of just gave you their knowledge that they had, and vice versa, or they just wanted to show you what they knew, their trade.
Well, it's like getting the songs right. If you're doing blues, you have to you want to do it right. That's all I can say. Is like, opposed to, there's so many ways to do a certain thing. Like, say, Jimmy Reed. There's all kinds of ways to do it. But like I learned from Eddie Taylor.
I met Jimmy Reed in Mississippi, Leland, Mississippi. And I taught Jimmy Reed how to play guitar. In the days we were working in the field, we come out the field, sit under the shade tree, and I taught him how to play the guitar. That's how he learned how to play guitar a little.
He's the one that did bump, ba bump, ba bump, ba bump, and Jimmy Reed did the turnarounds and stuff, and having it hook up. It's just like playing funk music, except you're on a shuffle thing most of the time, you know. But it's like it goes like this. It's hard to explain.
It's just a pinch, and it all goes together.
Yeah, it goes together. When it goes right, it's great. You know.
How was playing with John Lee Hooker?
Oh, it was great, boy. I mean, you know, I was a fan of the man's, you know what I mean, before I even met him, you know. I mean, and then I got to know the drummer named Kenny Swank, and he brought me down to meet John Lee, and I jammed, and I eventually got the gig playing with. I got to tour around with John Lee Hooker. You
know, you have been playing with numerous people, and this is a question that I've always want to ask a lot of players that's been around a long time. Why don't you think, even though blues is a national treasure of ours, why don't you think that it's actually more in the forefront, like when you see Grammys and awards? Why doesn't people, I know they embrace it, but why doesn't it, they show guys like you or John Lee, they show BB, but they don't give a big segment to these guys? Why is that? Why do you think our own culture don't?
Well, I think part of it is just like, you know, what's the new trend? What's the new, like the new dance or something? You know, what's the? It's kind of something that's, it's like that. You know, just like it. Some things are meant to be that are, and it's not. Things aren't promoted that way. They're promoted like, oh, you know,
let's make money.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, but people don't dwell into things that much, you know. I mean, I have, you know, as far as just listening to the music, just as a fan of music, I've just loved it, man. It made me feel so good, you know, whether feeling good, bad, or in the middle. I really dug hearing that blues stuff.
You know, a very good friend of yours, who I think is a great drummer, platinum artist, said this about Ron Thompson. Ron Thompson is my favorite guitarist. Mick Fleetwood.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Mick Fleetwood.
Tell me about Mick Fleetwood and your relationship with Mick.
Well, it's like this. See, a lot of people don't know that, like, for example, Fleetwood Mac was started out as a blues band.
Well, I sure loved you, boy. I know I didn't treat her right. Oh, yes, I sure loved
in England. And they had Peter Green and Jeremy Spencer and Mick Fleetwood and John McVie. That was the band, the initial thing. And some of those records are really, really good. Oh, I mean, they're really good. And he came down to a nightclub I was playing in Marin. I forget the name of the nightclub, but it was a pretty big place. And he showed up, and we hit it off just like that.
Really?
Really. And he's a really good friend of mine. I mean, I'm just saying, I enjoy being around him, and it's really good. I'm supposed to go over to Hawaii play with him pretty soon here. You know, so.
You guys are in a band called Blue Whale, or is that?
That's Blue Whale.
It's Blue Whale.
That was called Blue Whale, and the reason why it was called Blue Whale is because his place had a pretty nice place, very nice place, and it was like a baby. The walls were baby blue.
Oh.
That's what it's called.
That's where the name came. You know, you had a long history of playing music around the Bay, but all over the United States and the world. You had a day in in 2007. It was a day of Ron Thompson Day in San Francisco. Was that it?
Yeah, that's right.
How did that actually came about? And that must have made you feel absolutely marvelous.
Oh yeah. Well, I had somebody help me through the mayor's office, and
It was Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, his assistant, one of his assistants, and I got it. I couldn't believe it, and I tell you the truth, this might sound corny, but I'd be driving, you know, over the Bay Bridge. I go, wow, they gave me an honor. I mean, I couldn't believe it. The person that got one before me was Barry Bonds. You know, so I mean, it's like, you know, hey,
you hit a home run, man.
Yeah, you know, really. I mean, and I still feel good about it. I know it can sound kind of corny,
no,
you know,
it's a
but
great
like,
honor.
man, that was fantastic, and I really feel, well, for the whole Bay Area, you know, but San Francisco, that was really good.
Now, what kind of gear, when you're playing, and you're playing on stage, and it's just you and the resistors, what motivates you to go on stage and present what you do and have the energy that you have? How do you get prepared, Ron?
Well, you know, it depends on what gig it is and what I'm doing, and you know, I try to read the audience. Not that I'm going to do what I do, but it's about getting yourself not psyched up, but calm down, but then boom, you know, go for it. And I play because, you know, to get that somewhere in the show, I get this thing going where I feel really good. Okay, I feel better than I did before, and it's like, you know what I mean. No matter what, you know, getting there, all those kind of things, you know, but the idea is get up, and I feel honored to be able to do this for a living. I still can't believe I do this for a living. I really can't. I mean, I swear to God.
I'm glad you do.
Because, you know, it's great, you know, and, you know, drive around, you know, I first bands I used to play with, like I learned how to play blues. I was playing right when I was out of high school in North Richmond, and I learned from a lot of people like Jimmy McCracklin and Little Joe Blue, all these different people. I could go on and on, but I learned, like, it was like a certain kind of West Coast sound, really, but it's blues. It's like, you know, it's like
warm.
Just get into it, and any kind of equipment I use something that, as long as it works.
True.
Talking about having the blues, like, oh. One time I was at a place called Larry Blake's, and I jumped on a table, and I'm getting down, and all of a sudden my cord falls off, and I'm just sitting there like this, and it was going, bzzz. That's the blues. Just joking, you know, that's a true story.
So when you're performing, you feel really great, and you and the audience is, you know, you just captivate your audience. You have some great energy and things like that. Let's ask you a question. You played with Big Mama Thornton.
Oh yes, I sure did. Oh, she was great, man. Whoa. I mean, that's some deep stuff. I mean, you know, it's the depth of things, you know. And all I can say, without going on and on, she had some depth, let me tell you. And I played with her a bunch of times. As a matter of fact, I made some records with her. And, you know, I still listen to that record. Yeah, it's a record, 78. You know, Hound Dog.
Hound dog.
That sounds so bad. I mean, I dig Elvis's version too. Don't take me wrong, but you know that you ain't the way she does it. She's raw.
I like her version very much. In fact, it was just sent to me. It's ironic that you just brought that song up. It was just sent to me. Let's talk about a lady that we all loved, Etta James.
Oh, Etta James. Oh, she's, you know, she was and is bad. I mean, whoa.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. And I get a feeling that I never had before, no, no.
I mean, I played a bunch of shows with her, you know, and she was really, I mean, to me, she still, it sounds modern, the way she's phrasing and stuff, you know, like I'm not going to try to imitate it because I wouldn't do a good job. But I played a lot of shows with her, backing her up, man. I was honored. Etta James, my sister used to listen to Etta James and stuff, you know, like, and she was going strong for a long time, man. And I could go on with stories, but it was just an honor to play with. I played a lot with her at the Monterey Jazz Festival, and they used to have the Blues Day on Saturday, and that was really good.
How was playing the Monterey Jazz Festival back in that day? A lot different than it is today, isn't it?
I haven't been there lately, but in the last couple of years. But the Blues Day was really good, and they had some great acts, you know, and I can't remember any of them right now. But a lot of stuff. And the San Francisco Blues Festival, that was always a good one.
Yeah, you headlined that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
With the promoter, what's Tommy's
Tom
name?
Maslany.
Yes.
Oh, he's a good friend of mine.
Is Tom still doing it? Is he going to?
I don't know what he's going to be doing, but he did like, I don't know how many years he did. 30 years? I can't remember. I mean, a whole lot, and there's a lot to it, you know. And I went on 2 tours, the San Francisco Blues Festival on tour, to Europe, and you know, we're good friends.
You know, you went to Europe. It seems like Europeans really love our music, our music, the blues. What do you think is that?
Well, I think just people in general, they though, like if they like to hear it, and it's just like hearing really good country western, like Hank Williams or something like that, you know, or Jimmy Rogers, the old singing brakeman. That the depth of it, and it transcends. You know, you can transcend things, you know, without talking about it. Because sometimes when you talk about it, it gets messed up.
Yes.
You know, for real, you know. And so I'm just glad to be able to play music for a living.
And interpret blues is you're a magnificent player. We're going to have you play a song.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Oh, fine. I'd love to.
It's going to be great to have you do this. And do you know the song you're going to play?
No, not yet.
You're just going to throw...
Yeah, you know, you just kind of, you know.
Sounds great.
Yeah, you got to get played off the cuff.
There you go.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Right now we have the great blues slide guitarist Ron Thompson going to perform for us.
Got to move. You got to move. Move on. Well, you got to move. So when the love gets ready, you got to move. My Mother told me long time ago, watch out for some of these people, they can really hurt you so. But if you keep on dogging me, baby, well, you got to move. You got to move. You got to move. Move on now. You got to move. But when the Lord gets ready, you got to move. All right. Freight train, let me ride. I said, freight train, let me ride. I'm gonna leave early in the morning. I got a tear hanging in my eye. If I could holler like some old mountain jack, if I could holler like some old mountain jack, I will climb on the mountain and I try to call my baby back. All right now, all right, all right, all right. All right now, all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna leave early in the morning. I got that tear in my eye. I'm going down to the liquor store. I'm gonna pick up some Mad Dog wine. I'm going down to the liquor store. I'm gonna pick up some Mad Dog wine. Me and my friends gonna start drinking. I got my little girl on my mind. I said, freight train, let me ride. I said, freight train, let me ride. I'm gonna leave early in the morning. I have a tear in my eye. All right.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes off the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch is fouled to the back.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
OMG. I feel like I'm in a spiritual revival. I got to hear Ron Thompson play You Gotta Move and Freight Train. Ron, unbelievable.
Thank you very much for having me. This is great. This is great.
Thank you so much, man, for just being here, your presence, your knowledge of the blues. What year is this guitar?
It's about, I want to say 1931, maybe 36. I'm not sure. I knew at one point.
What tonality it has, and this is like probably one of your babies, eh?
Yeah, it's a duolian. What it is. They have different ones, you know, like triolian, duolians, and what have you.
Unbelievable. You know, Ron, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I just want to ask you two guests that you played with. The great B.B. King.
Yeah, I played with B.B. King.
How was that playing with B.B.?
Well, it was great. It was fantastic. And I played with him at his club in L.A., B.B. King's club. And the reason I got on stage with him is because I used to play with a guy that was Lowell Folsom. I had played with him for years, and he knew B.B. They never played together, at least for years. And so I got up with Lowell, and B.B. was there, and it was really nice. He looked at me. B.B. King looked at me, and he goes, "You know the thrill is gone?" And he didn't know me from Adam, you know. And all of a sudden, he was nervous because you don't know who knows what I'd be playing. And all of a sudden, I came up with that chord, and I saw him relax. And he, "Thrill is gone," you know. Yeah, excellent. That was a beautiful experience for me to play with B.B. King, you know.
Yes. One of my favorite female artists, Tina Turner.
This is the way we do, proud America. Left to the job in the city, working for the man every night and day. And I never lost 1 minute of sleeping, worried about the way that things might have been. They will keep on turning, proud America keep on burning, rolling, rolling on the river.
Tina Turner.
Oh, yeah.
How was Tina?
Man, she was great, and she was bad. I mean, she really is something. If you ever have a chance to see Tina Turner, go see her. It's something amazing. It's okay. I don't want to compare her with anybody else because she's Tina Turner.
She's Tina.
That's all I want to say about
Great
that.
legs, huh?
Hey.
You know, it's such an honor to have you on our show. I feel totally privileged. I feel like I have gone to church, back to reality. Ron, thank you so much. I want to have you again.
I'd like to come back.
You know,
anytime.
Thank you so much, sir. And what was customary, we give a kiss to all our fans out into TV land.
Oh, yeah.
So if you could do that with me.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Ron Thompson, the great Ron Thompson, for coming on Harmonics. I'd like to thank for all my help. And as what is the mission is to preserve blues history, rock history. That is our mission at Chabot, Las Positas College District. And here we go. Here's our kiss to everyone out there.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You can tell all them a lie.